Okay guys, welcome to my little cockpit. It's not a cockpit, it's just a PC with a small interface to my Thranda Pilatus Porter PC-6. So I want to show you my switch panel which I made here. It's the SIMVIM or HCSCI interface, and it's called not officially, but it's called HCSCI. So I call it also HCSCI. And okay, I will show you how it works. First of all, I will show you the hardware. It's a little bit of a mess, but it works. So what do we have here? Here we have a Arduino. It's a small Arduino. I think it's a clone. Then we have one multiplexer, and here's the second multiplexer. And we have some switches, push buttons. I call it mini switches or whatever switches. But these are all 3-position switches except one. There's one 2-position switch. I don't know which one it is. Doesn't matter. Okay, that's the hardware, and now I will show you how it works. Let's go into the cockpit, and for that I also have a switch. And you can see here the cabin door switch. Switch it to the right, and the door opens, and I'm in the cockpit. Okay, now as you can see, I switched on the battery switch, and immediately there is the pilot, and he stays in. He doesn't want to get out, but okay, he's in. And now we take a look in the cockpit. There's the cockpit, and we are in Innsbruck, Flughafen Innsbruck. Very nice, Flughafen. Everybody wants to fly in Innsbruck. As you can see, I selected the G1000 cockpit of the Thranda Pilatus Porter PC-6. Because I want to learn how it works. A friend of mine is busy making these G1000 panels. He makes them himself, so later on I will make a cockpit too, using two 15-inch monitors and some switches. I'll try to make a Pilatus Porter cockpit. The nice thing about the Pilatus cockpit is that it has so much switches, so you can rebuild it with this interface. I will show you when I switch on the battery switch. The switch in the cockpit will also go up like this. So I made almost for every switch in the cockpit here a hardware switch here with the interface, but not all works directly, so you have to tweak the SIMVIM or the HCSCI interface a little bit, otherwise it doesn't work. So switching on battery power, you can see how I do my startup sequence. Then you have here the booster pump switch, the ignition switch, and the starter switch. So let's start up the plane. But first of all, we put on the strobe lights. So this is a strobe light switch, and I don't have the red strobe light switch, but I have to make that, so we use the white strobe light switch. Take a look if it works. Yes, switched on. Okay, go back to the cockpit. Then we will switch on the pump. You also have a switch for that. There it is. Pump. You can hear the pump is switched on. And you switch on the starter. Like this. Switch on the ignition. Add some fuel. And the motor is starting. A little bit more. Oh no, idle, the wrong one, that one. It's their Boonter Ferretti. Okay, we switch the prop control lever forward. And I was put the headphones on. So, okay, the prop is unfeathering now. We can switch on the generator. We also have a switch for that. Generator on. So the engine has been started. We can switch off the booster pump, ignition, and the starter. We can put on, switch on the generator. I accidentally already switched it on. Switch on the landing light. No, not the landing light, the position light. Then I'll switch on the pitot heat and the cabin heat, and we have the prop de-icer. Okay. I also have switched to center the rudder trim. So I have a switch on the joystick. I can put the rudder to the right, and if I want to center it, trim center, I click one, and then it goes to the center position. Okay, again, till rudder to the right. My flap settings I do that with on my joystick. Flaps. Switching off the sound. Less sound, please. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, then I'll switch. So you can see here, I can switch on the position light, navigation light. Then oh yeah, and I also have a switch for the tail wheel lock. When we look here, you can lock the tail wheel. I also got a switch for that. Locked, unlock. Then I have a push button for the reverser. So when I push this button, it goes into reverse. And there will be an alarm. Yeah. When I let go of the switch, it goes into forward mode. Okay, I can switch on the radio here. radio on. So that's my interface to the Thranda PC-6 cabin. And I really like the feature of opening the door with the switch. So when we drop paras, I don't have to click on the screen, just flipping the switch and the door opens like this, and the door closes like that. But you have to tweak HCSCI a little bit, because not all features work directly. But if you want to know how it works, I can send you the data files. You only need two files to make it work, and of course the hardware. But the hardware is so cheap. The Arduino is only $8. The multiplexers are just, I think, 90 dollar cents. I bought 10 of them, and some wires and some switches, some cheap switches, and you can make your own interface. I know it's just a simple interface, but I like the idea of it, that it works. So, okay guys, that's all, and I hope you switch off the sound. I hope you like the video. Maybe you can make your own interface to the Pilatus Porter. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.